check this out. We were walking along. We're trying to head to this little tiny beach, actually. There's a little beach, and we saw from the map that we could walk all the way from the beach that's nearest our place to this little beach. So we've just kind of been walking along the sea, but we come onto someone's property. It's like an olive vineyard, or an olive grove, I'll say. And it had like what looked like the base structure, or the old foundations of a home. Let me show you here. It's kind of creepy, actually. There's a bunch of bathing suit tops and bottoms in here, women's bathing suit tops and bottoms. And beer cans and trash, of course. People coming down here partying and drinking and stuff. But check it out. We're down in the basement. And I saw when I was looking through here, when I was up on that grass, that there were these stairs. And so we came down here. But it's kind of interesting. On the just above us on the top here is like a little shack, like a little farmer shack, where you would come out here and tend to the crops during the summer or during the harvest. I'll head back up here and show you this little farmland. It's really nice, actually. It's super green. Check out these stairs. They look like fairy tale-like. So here's the little farmer shack. Maybe he comes out here and stays in the shack during the harvest. But I noticed that all of the trees have a pile of what I assume is like cow dung or something to that effect. And here's just his little shack. He's got his windows screwed in place. Then looks like maybe here's his front door. Oh, here's a little keyhole, so he's got it secured. But we were just walking along the sea down here through all these like reeds and what I assume is like a seaweed. But you can see the different piles of dung under each of these trees. So he must be getting ready for the spring, and he's going to come spread it, or maybe he just leaves it there and it, you know, the nitrogen will absorb down into the earth. We'll go back over here to the water's edge and show you guys a little path we've been walking along. It's been a pretty easy path to walk along, but the waves will come in pretty quick sometimes, and we'll have to kind of just wait and let them pass and then keep walking really quick. But let's go check it out. So here's this little path. We actually came from way back over there, and in some of these parts it's gotten pretty skinny, but I think this is just like some type of like a seaweed or something that's built up here, as you can see. And all this salt is built up on it. But where we're trying to get, I think we're almost there. It looks like it's just around the corner. We've actually come quite a ways along the little path here. A lot of it was along the street, and then it turns into like a little park, and there's like a nice sandy beach, but then it kind of turned into this, and then you got these little obstacles like this olive tree that's here. And you can see the sea's just eating away underneath here. Well, let's see if we can get around here without getting wet or falling in. Oh, look, I found a secret chair. Looks like it got pulled out of the water, actually. I noticed as we went along, there's a couple of spots where people have put like a piece of wood or stacked some bricks so they could sit and maybe fish and have a few beers. There is quite a bit of beer cans, unfortunately. A lot of this is plastic too, which sucks because the water's just here and a lot of it's getting washed out into the sea. But you can see the oh, look, there was an easier path here.
Much easier.
But there's all kinds of beer cans and stuff. It'd be nice if someone would come collect it, but I'm thinking these people who live in these houses back up a few blocks, they probably just come over here and have some drinks and throw a line in, or, you know, have a cigarette and a few beers with their buddy or something. Well, it looks like it's like a little beach club, and there's a little fire going. I don't know if it's a kind of a private thing right now because the season's not on, but I kept hearing some like bird noises. It looks like there's some geese back over there and some chickens. Maybe I'll go over here and see if we can get on here. It looks like it's actually a pretty small beach. I thought it'd be a little bigger, but if I look across the water here, you can see all the way to the other side. It's pretty neat at night. You can see all the lighting from the all of the civilization that's over on that side. And I think there's actually some ruins over there. It's like Assos or something like that. I think that's way over on this other point here. As you can see, it kind of just comes all the way around. And actually, when we came here, we came on a bus that came along this highway, and then it came back this way, and then it brought us into Burhaniye. And that same highway is just running just on the other side of these houses a few blocks up, and it continues to like Izmir. And that bus, it continues all the way to Antalya. So I think this place was just like a little cafe, and it looked like it was actually open and that there were people in there. We're gonna continue to walk a bit along the sea here, just because it's kind of neat. But there was actually saw a street that leads you back up to the road. So if we didn't want to walk back along the highway, we could kind of just dip out over there. There's a little bit more of this coastline. It's kind of neat, like I was saying, just walking along here. And most of this stuff's all trash, but occasionally you'll see a shoe or different things. There's a lot of actually old glass bottles that are pretty neat looking. Some of them look like they might be pretty dated. Most of them, though, are just some guys that came over here probably last weekend and tossed their trash here. I was saying too, like there's so much plastic trash that if I were one who had maybe like a trash bag or something and some gloves, I might pick up some of this garbage. Unfortunately, that's not the case today. It's kind of interesting as you go. I feel like we maybe walked through the back of some people's properties, and no one seems to mind. It's not exactly an issue, it seems, since we are just along the coast. I feel like in certain parts of the world, if you walked along someone's beachfront property, they might have a little bit of an issue with you, but doesn't seem to be the case here. So there's a couple of birds over here, and I'm gonna see if I can get a little closer and show you them. So check this stuff out. It's like super dense.
It's like walking on clouds.
Yeah, it's pretty trippy. It's either really good for your back or really bad for your back, one of the two. But it's all like layers and layers of organic matter. So here's these birds. Oh, there goes one. I don't know if those are cormorants or something. There was actually another bird that just flew by here. He was more like a I don't know, like a stork looking kind of bird. Did you see that guy a minute ago?
I did. He did look stork-like.
What'd you find?
This really beautiful rock.
Oh wow, that is nice. Very turquoise. I've been waiting for a moment, actually, and I'm glad I remembered. Turquoise is, I think it roughly translates to the color of the Turks, right? And so I thought that was really interesting, because being from Arizona, there's all kinds of turquoise, and then we came here and I learned that, and then she found that rock and it reminded me, so that was really neat. There looks like a little rocky area over here. Maybe we can go over there and check that out. So I poked my head up because I found this set of stairs, and it looks like the street's just there, but then there's what looks like a nice 3-story home. Looks like a little bit of glass is broken there, but it looks like it's occupied. But check it out, I found someone's Istanbul card here. It's not doing them any good over here, I'll tell you that. They're never going to get a refund on that. I think that is the card that you use in Istanbul to get around on the metro systems, and you can actually return it when you leave and you get your deposit back. But check out this set of stairs. It's just on this property here, so I don't know if it's a private set of stairs for these people's home here. Then it just kind of comes down to this nice beach, and as you can see, the sun's come out, so it's really just so beautiful out right now. There's a few boats out here. I got lucky today. It's been so windy that I haven't really been wanting to record because I don't have any nice earmuff for my speakers, but I was using some Band-Aids a few days ago, but I peeled those off, and luckily it's not so windy today. So there's these little boats out here. You can hear them putting around. They have these very distinct sounds to their motors, like a pup, 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 pup sound, and they just kind of cruise along. They're kind of neat, but there's just, you know, these guys out here fishing and maybe doing a little commercial fishing or personal fishing, one of the two. So I've noticed as we went along, there's all kinds of what looks like areas where you would stick like a sun umbrella in the ground. And I think that's what these are here. Just a bunch of little posts or maybe fishing pole rods or something. Check out where the seaweed here has been pushed back, and there's just like a nice exposed rocky area. I really like the sound here. The thicker sand or the bigger rocks has a very distinct sound as the waves crash. I don't know if you can hear that, but I think it's really neat. When I get a better microphone and a stand, I want to start doing like looped recordings of these waves and stuff crashing, because I think it's so relaxing. And I listened to this guy's video. It's just like a recording of a box fan, and it's like looped for like 10 hours. And I listen to it like every night when we travel, because it really helps to drown out sound, right? And I sleep better with the white noise. So I was thinking about doing something like that with the waves crashing and creating like a similar video, and maybe just putting it to my channel and listing it or not listing it, but just having it so I can have something to relax to as I listen. Check out this little rocky area we're coming upon now. More trash, of course. Very beautiful here. The water is not super clear today because it's been a little windy, so the sand and stuff is a little stirred up. But this is just a beautiful little area here. What do you think, babe? You didn't hear her. She was saying she loves looking at all the different colored rocks, and there's certainly no lack of that. I mean, from the camera's view, it probably seems like a lot of browns, but down in there, there's a lot of different colors. These rocks are really neat. They look like concrete almost. You can see there's just all types of different stones and larger rocks. Show you a couple different ones. Little different things you can expect to see if you just kind of get off of the little path along the sea and venture out and just walk along the little small edges of the coast that allow you to barely squeeze by. You can see a little bit of that blue today. It's kind of gray, so you're not seeing a lot of it, but so if you can see this tower here, I think it's a smokestack. Let me see, where's my finger here? That guy right there. That's roughly about where our Airbnb is. And we've just walked all the way along the coastline here. And it's been very lovely, actually. See a little snail right there. We decided to stop just here where we were. Oh, he's crawling away now. He was just way up on that rock. But we decided to sit right here on these semi-comfortable rocks.
I mean,
they're a little rough on the bum, but we've been traveling with a pack of cookies, so we have a little bit of fuel to get back to our destination, or our where we started from after we get to our end destination, which I don't know if we'll walk too much longer along this coast. It's been pretty neat, but we're getting pretty far now. But oh, there's a couple people actually walking, looks just along the coast where we were just coming along. We're not the only ones, but it's cookie time. Check out this guy that just landed on my leg.
Wow, look at him.
He's free. Oh, there he goes. Off into the wild. There's a crab right here. Let's see if I can get him on camera.
He's so big, and his legs are so hairy. Can you see him?
I don't know. I don't know if it's focused on him. There he is. come out.
Yeah, be patient enough, you will.
Oh man. Oh, here he comes maybe. Wow, he looks like a big tarantula.
Yeah, he does. He's so hairy.
Here he comes. Little nature sighting here. Oh. I tell you, this rock's killing my knee. But...
Oh, yeah, it looks pretty painful.
Oh, there he goes. Some of these layers are really neat. We actually just found this big chunk, and look at all these different layers.
Look at like paper thin layers.
If you had a nice like little rock hammer, a rock pick, you could probably bust away at that.
Look at these things in here too.
I wonder if that was like organic matter.
Right?
But I was saying if you had,
neat.
grab one of those other ones. Oh yeah, that one's really cool. Here, hold it from like sideways. Oh,
Got it.
nice catch. If we had like a little pick, we could probably chip away at the different layers and find like different old crustaceans or something. I want to call them, like I forget what they're called. I see these guys in California walk along with little picks, and they bust out all these different fossils out of these rocks. It's really cool. We don't have any of that cool equipment, so we're just beating them against a rock. But yeah, these are really neat, some of these things. Like, look at this bit of like, what is that? An old branch or something? Like,
Right? It's an old worm.
something. It's really neat. And we were just sitting right there, and I didn't even notice there's like a spring here. I can only assume that that people who live up in around this area would utilize this as a source of fresh water, because obviously it's got some wear on it. It's modern. It's not like ancient or anything. And you can see actually here there's a bit of rebar and concrete, and that looks like a cap, like maybe water collects in there or something. But this is really neat. This is nice clean water that maybe people would bring their jugs of water down here and just gather some fresh water here near the sea. Well, we've gone from olive trees to pine trees. What is it? Oh, let me see.
But it's like a half snail.
And he's like
he's
like rotting,
partly shriveled up in there. Oh.
That's a neat looking shell though.
Right?
Wow.
Okay, there you go, buddy. Back to it.
Yeah, there was some tide pools back there actually, and there was like a little tiny crab in there. And but there was a cat there, and he was dying, I think, because he had like, his jaw was like gone, and his nose was all like covered in mucus, so it kind of made me sad and grossed me out, so I didn't want to hang around too much. But just behind me there's these stairs, and they're really neat, just like that other set of stairs that I was showing in that house. They look like old, and they look like they are like kind of mossy maybe, but we'll head over there and see what happens. There's a bunch of guys actually that just came down right near where we were, where that well was, and they had their fishing supplies. Looks like they're gonna go fishing. Let's see if you can hear this. I don't know if you can hear it, but if you can hear that female voice back there, it's actually I stopped a guy in a park, and it's I don't want to say propaganda, but it's like a pre-recording. It's a pre-recorded message that applies for the Turkish people, and it loops all day, and it basically states the restriction rules, the times that they need to be in, you know, wear a mask, things of that nature. I kept hearing it, and I was like, what is this? Should we know what's being said? And so I passed by a guy in the park, and he said hello, and so I asked him, do you speak English? And I asked him, and he, you know, roughly told me, you know, it's these restriction times and it doesn't apply to you, which it does in a manner, because we've been following him just cause. But what he was getting at was that these travel restrictions and these curfews don't apply to foreigners or tourists. So it's kind of interesting to finally learn what was being said. They also use the same speaker system. It's like a municipality speaker system that just goes for miles and miles. Just every few light poles there is these what is that? There's these I don't know what that is, maybe some bird poop or something. But there's these speakers, and what they're used for is they originally, I assume, would have used them for the call to prayer. The muezzin goes out over them, you know, 5 times a day or whatever it is. And yeah, it's 5. But so they use that, and then, you know, all this COVID stuff happens. So they're utilizing those same speaker municipality system to broadcast these curfews and these restrictions for these people. Here's these fruits. Actually, they grow just near our home in Spain, which is pretty much very similar to this. There's pine trees just along the sea, and then these things, you can see there's all kinds of them on this tree, but they're like a red fruit, and I forget what they're called, like Japanese, what were we saying, like maybe like a Japanese strawberry?
I think it's one of the names that it goes by.
But kind of neat that we saw those, because we haven't been able to go home in a while, so kind of neat to see these different things that remind us of our house. Pretty cool though. The birds look like they've been picking at them. Rachel just found a sea something. Look at that thing.
Oh no, it's so cool.
It's like an anemone, or oh wow, it's actually coming in pretty clear there. You can see it better through the water.
It's so vibrant.
I want to touch it.
Right, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Well, we can call the police if it stings me. Just kidding. Could trip. That's actually just here at the base of these stairs, and it looks like there's actually some homes up here. I can see maybe like the tip of a church. So I think maybe we'll just use these stairs to get back up to the road and maybe head back to our place. So thanks for coming along on our little journey, guys. We got to see a couple of really neat sea nature things here. Kind of fleeting, these things, but it was a beautiful walk, and we appreciate you guys coming along. Stay safe and stay sane out there.